surprised that once they never love that indoors. Ah, two occasions. The deal. Babyface was in that group if you didn't know. Two occasions. That's day and night. I want to love you day and night. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Keith K.L. Belvin here. Let me formally introduce myself. I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, author, educator, and again, we are here on the From Gigolo to Jesus platform. Yes, that is me, From Gigolo to Jesus. And before I go any further, before I go into the sponsors and what we're talking about today, I want to say this. When you lived the type of life that I have lived, you have made a lot of I have made a lot of mistakes. And over those years, I'm sorry, can get very tenuous. But the thing is, physical, emotional, and spiritual growth takes time. And you're going to appear hypocritical to a lot of the people that you deal with because, in most instances, you are. And I want to say that because I think too often, many of us who, when we make changes in our lives, we don't realize that some of the people that we hurt, they're not seeing, and for the most part it's not on them to care because they got to deal with their own pain. So one of the things that I simply want to say is that to anyone that I have hurt, I am sorry. And that one of the things that I do or try to do when I come on my platform or do the things that I do is try to be the person that I am. I've made some mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes. And I try to stand up and apologize because I can't go back and change anything that I did. I can only realize that it was bad and go forward. And sometimes you have to be reminded of that. And I had an experience with that yesterday, and it gave me something to think about. And I just want to, say that if anyone that I've ever hurt, I'm sorry. And I mean that. And I think if more of us would take accountability when somebody presents to them that something that they said or something that they did has hurt them, to apologize so that person can at least have that, and then whatever direction they want to take themselves, that's fine. But you need to offer that. And sadly, I've worked with some folks that when they're presented with opportunities to at least apologize to the person directly, they refuse or they'll say they're not ready. And I get it. But once somebody presents to you, once somebody reaches out to you and has a comment for you, I think it's the best thing. So I wanted to say that. And again, I'm going to try going forward to be the best that I can be and hopefully try to save more lives than I have messed up in the past. And hopefully God will grant me some clemency. And we'll take it from there. Okay, so let's get this started. As I said, I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, educator, and author. And when I say the For Gigolo to Jesus platform, that's simply because it's the title of my book. And it highlights the transformations that I have made in my life. And so with that, I want to also shout out the sponsor, Danielle Chef Moore, if you're checking her out on Facebook, or BK Chef Danielle on Instagram. She is the owner and operator of Ethel and Annie Mae's Soul Food Kitchen, 497 Albany Avenue, Crown Heights, Brooklyn. My Brooklyn folks, Queens folks, Manhattan, Bronx, and Staten Island, make sure that you come into the Heights, Crown Heights. Check this sister out, 497 Albany Ave. Make sure that you check her out. And again, all you have to do is look at her pictures and you can see that she puts the love into her food. Now, when you get there and taste it, you will see that it matches. And please, when you get there, tell her that Big Dog or KL sent you. And simply because we have to support our own. And as I'll say every day, make sure you check out her bench. And the reason why I keep bringing up the bench is because we have to reconnect with our elders. We have to connect with our elder folks to be able to get their wisdom as well as just to have that bond because they are our connection to our ancestors. They will become our ancestors as soon as we will become our ancestors at some point as well. So we need to have that bond. We need to have that connection. And the fact that the elders have blessed Chef Danielle in their own way is why we need to stay connected to the folks who are doing what they need to do in the community. So shout out to Chef Danielle. Continued success with your establishment. All right. Now, I want to talk about 5 ways of dealing with crisis. All right. 5 ways of dealing with crisis, because often we will identify, as I put up a meme yesterday, first step is identifying that you are in crisis. Many of us will identify that we are in crisis, but then we don't know what to do. Now, of course, that's why you come to me. You set up time to come and see me, because then we can figure out what the problem is. But I want to give you some steps on what you could do just sitting right there in your home. And then if you need the professional help, which I suggest you do, because one, I'm not emotionally and spiritually connected to your problem. But then I can now come in and help you physically, help you spiritually, help you emotionally to move away from that problem, be a guide, and then get you to the point that at some point you don't need me. I said to a client yesterday, my job is to work to the point that I fire myself. And he was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "To get to the point that you no longer need me. My goal is not to stay in your life forever. Yeah, I love to be connected to you as friends and things like that, associates. But the goal professionally is to work to a point that I am no longer needed." So I'm literally working to fire myself, because if we've gotten to that point, that means you've overcome whatever it is you came to me with, and you are good. And that's my goal, is to get you upright. Okay. So before I get into these 5, let's go. You know the rules. Like this, share this. And because we got 5 tips today, we're going to go with tag 5 people. And there's a 5 up on my screen, so I see it. So tag 5 people. Okay. Like this, share this, tag 5 people. Let's get that out of the way, because there's got to be somebody on your list who needs to know who I am. And I would love to meet them through you. So I need you to do that right now. I want you to think about, go, you know what? I think so-and-so needs to hear this. Tag them. I think I think she needed. Let's go. 5 people. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let me actually bring this up, because I can't see the Facebook folks. So I want to be able to see them. I realize that I got to kind of jump on my computer. Let me just turn this down. I don't need the volume coming up. There we go. Also, you know what? I also forgot. Let me shout out, hold on one second. Let me shout out Tamika Hall. Shout out to Tamika Hall, who's doing the 6-Figure Christian Authors Institute this coming month of August. 6-Figure Christian Author Institute, which I am a part of. I am teaching the 4th week of August, but the whole month of August, she is bringing you Christian authors who are going to help you in every facet of the book game. The link is in my on my Facebook page. You just click the link. There's a specially designed link that's connected to the people that I deal with. And if you go to my Facebook page, it is pinned at the top, so you won't have to go look for it. Just simply click the link. And actually, the discount is over. It was until July 7th. You could have got $25 off. But either way, I think it's $175. But for the whole month, you're talking about, and let me give you the number of authors, because I want you to understand, for you guys that are interested in writing books, this is a great way. You're talking about 4, 8, 12. You're talking about 12. So I think it's 3 of us a weekend. I'm not sure. I got to check and see what the schedule's going to be. But you're looking at classes in writing, marketing, publishing, ministry, social media, Facebook ads, turning your book into a movie or a stage play, accounting for authors. I can't even see the rest. 14 live virtual classes, full access to replays, and payment options starting on August 5th. Come on. If you're interested in finally getting your book out and you can learn from some Christian authors, I am one of them. I am actually going to be teaching on how to write a book about your life, since I wrote my book about mine, my memoir, From Gigolo to Jesus. So I'm excited, and I'm going to do what I got to do. And if you show up in my class, there'll be some things that I'm offering as well. All right. So make sure you check out Tamika Hall, but just go to my page. It's pinned, and you can go ahead and join. I would go ahead and do that, because this is a perfect opportunity. You're getting 14 authors. Now let me just give you, okay, let me put this in perspective, right? You probably would pay $175 to talk to one author for an hour, right? Maybe. maybe 2. You're getting to actually go through classes with 14 for a price that's about the cost of one counseling session. I would jump on that. All right, but the link is in my bio. Make sure you check it out. Also, shout out to Tamika Hall for the invite. I've worked with her in the past. I've done some interviews with her in the past, so I am super excited to be working with her. So I appreciate the offering, and I can't wait. I'm going to make sure that folks are getting what they need to get out of the class with me. Okay, with that said, let's get ready to move on. Now, we're going to talk about 5 things you need to do. 5 things you need to do when dealing with crisis. And it's super important because, again, these are things that you can do and to help yourself out. All right. Now, number 1. All right. And you can write these down if you like. First thing to do when you're dealing with crisis, make sure that you are physically safe. Make sure that you are physically safe. I know that may sound kind of crazy, but make sure that you're physically safe. Because when you're going through a crisis, emotional crisis, spiritual crisis, or a physical, make sure that you're safe. Because if it's a physical one, if there's harm or hurt involved, get yourself to a safe situation. Cannot do anything while you're in danger. If you're dealing with emotional crisis or spiritual crisis, make sure that you're physically safe. Make sure that you're in a good place to be able to start tackling the things that are wrong. And I put that at number 1 because often we tend to forget and we try to tackle a crisis and we put ourselves in a bad place. I don't want to see that. Okay, so number 1, make sure that you are physically safe. Okay, moving on to number 2, and we're talking about the 5 things to do when you are in crisis. All right, number 2, check that you are getting the help you need. If you are in crisis, if you acknowledge that you're in crisis, what help do you need? Check. What is it that you need now that's going to help you deal with this? If this is getting away from you, if you can't deal with it yourself, or what assistance do you need to be able to do this yourself? Very important. And we got, let me see, I missed it. Hey, good morning, Nissa. I see you. Okay, there we go. Hey, love. And so it's very important that you look at what help do you need. You may need counseling, may not. You may need somebody just for that moment, whatever it is. But consider what help that you need and then get it. Don't just think about it, get it. That's number 2. Number 3, on the 5 things you need to do while you're in crisis. Okay. Now, this one is going to sound interesting, or I hope it is. Stay physically active. One of the things that happens when we are in crisis, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, we then become sedentary. We then just kind of stop and we fold in and the crisis starts to cave in on us. Stay physically active. This is a great time to go exercise. This is a great time to go take a walk. This is a great time to just keep moving, just to give yourself time to figure out what it is that you need to do, how you're going to do it, and you go from there. And I'm telling you, it's actually a good thing. And with the weather out like it is, a nice walk in some of this heat will loosen up the pores and allow you in a good sweat. Maybe the thing that you need, all depends what the crisis is, but stay physically active. Just called out my accountability partner. Shout out to Adam Bruns. And we missed working out last night because I didn't realize I had a master class that ran late and I was so tired. I was going to go to the gym anyway, but I was so tired that I called to apologize. He was like, yo, I was dealing with a sinus infection. He said, I was about to call you and tell you I wasn't going to be able to make it. So he's like, okay, we're not going to let that happen. But, we had to accept the fact that I was beat. So I'm looking at possibly switching to maybe working out in the middle of the day. It's harder in the morning because I got to take my daughter to camp, but we're going to see. Okay, so we're talking about the top 5 things to do, or 5 things to do. I got 5 more I'm going to give later, probably tomorrow. But 5 things to do when you're in crisis. 1, check that you're physically safe. 2, check that you're getting the help that you need. And 3, stay physically active. Okay, now moving on to number 4. Okay, number 4, keep pleasurable things in your life, maintain your routines. Often when we're going through crisis in one area, we let it shut us down in other areas. We actually stop doing things that are pleasurable, things that are fun. We change our routine, and that causes the crisis to grow. We are capable of doing multiple things at the same time. Now, I'm not talking multitasking in terms of when you got work to do and you on your phone. No, I'm talking about throughout the day, you can deal with one thing while still doing other things. Now, unfortunately, some of us, when we're in crisis, it affects how we are in other areas. I get that. I understand that. Try to keep to your routine the best you can, because that way you keep the stress level down while you go and deal with the crisis. You don't want to add stress to now the routine changing, you now trying to figure out what you're going to do while still tackling whatever is wrong. Because remember, your life still has to go on while tackling the crisis. Let's say you're worried about your job coming to an end in 2 months, and you're out here really trying to find a different job. What are you going to do? And all, and it's now becoming a thing. That doesn't mean that you should stop doing the other things in your life unless it's causing you to lay out money that you're not worried that you're going to be worried to replace. Then you have to kind of augment it, but keep doing, like, you can still go out. Okay, if you want to cancel the gym membership, you can still go to the park. There's just things you want to try to stay the best you can in the routine that you have, so you lessen the stress so it doesn't amplify the things that are wrong. Okay, so again, keep pleasurable things in place. Maintain your routine. That's number 4. All right. Now, number 5. Now, this one for me. Check that you are eating right and well and get enough sleep. The second part for me, that right there. Check that you are eating well and right and getting enough sleep. One of the things that happens when anybody is in crisis, their sleep patterns are thrown off because of the worry and because of the stress, which then again, and I'm going to use this word again, amplifies the crisis. It amplifies the stress. Not that the crisis didn't need any extra energy, but all of a sudden now you are in a situation where you're not eating right, which is causing stress. You are not getting enough sleep, which is causing stress. And now the situation seems worse, or you started to create more. You started to create different stresses. You started to create different crises. Now you're dealing with multiple crises. And all of a sudden you start to feel overwhelmed. And this is when depression can set in. This is when things start to get away from you, that you start to say to yourself, what am I doing? How am I doing this? And all of a sudden you can't think. And then we look to start coping. And coping can come in many forms. Self-medicating, all right? Poor decision making when it comes to certain behaviors, getting close to people that we shouldn't. So when we are dealing with crisis, you want to make sure that you're eating, and you want to make sure that you are getting enough rest. And again, it's super, super important. And some of these things that I have sat here and worked on myself, because I set my, it's actually on my schedule when I sleep. I literally put on my schedule from 12:30, from 12 to 7 is the time I'm supposed to sleep. My phone actually goes off and says it's time for bed, like a parrot. Now, I've been getting in bed about 12:30 because I got to get up at 7 to take care of the camp. So I've been getting to 6:30. I'm trying to get to 7. So I'm trying to get my butt in bed at 12. And I realized that if I turn on MSNBC and watch Rachel Maddow, I'm probably going to watch the whole show. So I just turn it off. But I've been working on getting in bed at 12. That's one of the reasons why I was going to the gym at night, because by going to the gym at night, I come in, I take a shower, I'm ready to go lay down, I'm good. Even having some wine I'm not sure how much of that I work into my evening routine, but I'm working on getting in bed by 12 to get the 7 hours that I need. Now, if I could figure out a way to get 8, I'm on to something, which I'm working on. And so, like I said, I was talking to my accountability partner. I might go to the gym during the day and then come finish up the work and then try to get in bed at by 11. And I'm literally playing with the idea of just redoing my whole schedule and try to become a morning person, which I have never been. Listen, I got to be honest, I've never been a morning person. So let me go back over The five, okay? Here's the five. The five things to do when you are dealing with crisis. Check that you are physically safe, okay? Number one. Number two, check that you are getting the help that you need. Very important. That's where you can reach out to me. I'm here. Stay physically active. Please don't keep moving. Keep moving. Don't you sit still and you start thinking about it. All of a sudden now it's ramping up inside your head and it gets worse. All right? Stay physically active. Keep pleasurable things in your life. Maintain your routine. Keep the pleasure. Try not to just disconnect from everyone and everything while you're going through crisis. I know that seems like a thing to do. Number five, check that you are eating well and getting enough rest. That is super important. The body heals itself, believe it or not. A lot of people don't realize that. Good morning, Evangeline. People don't realize that. The body heals itself. God made this machine incredible. We mess it up with what we put in it, what we do to it. God has made it in sync too. He has synced the mind and the body and the spirit together. And when we connect with other people, those things are then again using this word amplified. Because now when you get with other good-minded, sound-minded people, you become better. They say we're the extension of the five friends. You've heard that before. And in the Bible, it says good communication affects good character, or good or bad company affects good character. That's what it is. Bad communication affects good character, or bad company affects good manners, which means when you're around people who are negative, you start to do things you shouldn't do. So the flip side of that coin is when you get around people who are doing great, you have the ability to start to do great because you are learning from them and you are absorbing that energy. Created us that way. The fact of who in the last year and some change that I've been around business wise, spiritual wise, has helped me. That's what allows me to come on and apologize for the things that I did before, because I can see how I need to be different and how I'm actually being different. And it's hard, it is hard, but I realize it's what's necessary. So when you change your surroundings, change who you surround, you have now started to change, hopefully, the way you see the world. And all of a sudden, God created that sync. That's why that's why when you hear me say, when I have the hashtag, we can fix this. Well, the reason why I know we can fix this is because God has given us the ability to fix the things that are going on with us. We need to just link up to do that. We really do. And so, again, my other hashtag, bring me your pain. I'm asking you to bring what's wrong to me so I can help you. I cannot help what I don't know. I cannot fix what I don't know. I can't apologize for what's not brought to me. And yes, I'm going to stay on the apology thing because, again, I don't like to know that anybody that I hurt is hurting. I feel that way. And I harp on that because pain can turn into something super negative, and it can dig in so deep that to try to uproot it, some people just don't have the energy and they give up. I know that. So if I know that I've caused pain, I want to try to fix it the best that I can. So if you're in crisis, let's finish up strong this way. If you're in crisis, reach out to me. I would love to get on a call with you. I would love to sit and talk with you and figure out what I can bring to the table to help you. Also, on Friday nights, I have a group. I have two groups, actually, a Bible study group that you can come to where I put up some scripture. It's real simple. Just I put up scripture to give you to read. Also, if you need a prayer requests, reach out and let us know. And it's not one of those super active groups. It's actually a rest stop for the spiritual, meaning that you come in and you read the scriptures at your own pace. If you need prayer, you put up a prayer request. You will get people who pray for you, and then you go on about your business. Just like at a rest stop, you show up, rest, go to the bathroom, get some snacks, and go on about your business. Nobody actually knows where everybody is traveling unless you stop and introduce yourself, which you could if you want. And every now and then, some of the members will post up a video or something like that. I'm fine with it. Now, the other group I have is called Unapologetically Keep. Every Friday, my wife and I get on and we do a Zoom call, which is live in the group, which we have a bunch of people from the group come and hang out with us. We'll have some questions or a topic that we're going to discuss for the night, and we want to hear everybody's opinion. And the beautiful thing is it's a safe space. So you can literally come into the group and be okay. All right. And have your conversation. We talked about Wendy Williams and Tabitha Brown a couple weeks ago. Last week we talked about the moms that wanted to take the husband back for more child support because his new wife was making money when she had a whole husband in the army. So we had that conversation. And sometimes it's just a good place for adults to hang out for a couple of hours, to have conversations without them spiraling down to negativity and a whole lot of BS. And we have some fun. Bring your wine and hang out with us on Zoom. And you can lay up in the crib. And some folks is actually laying in bed, which we joke about while they're doing the show. We've even had a couple people fall asleep where we're getting ready to end the show and I can't figure out how to wake them up. But we have some fun. So unapologetically, Keith, if you can't find it, just send me an inbox and say, hey, Keith, I would like to join the group. And some people who don't come into the Zoom room will watch from the group and just, interact in the chat there. I will, the Zoom link. Okay. Yeah. The Zoom link is in the group, Evangeline. It's when you're in the group, I post a link up so you can always join us in the Zoom meeting in the group. So once you become a member of the group, you'll definitely get the link, which is put up every Friday. So just check out Unapologetically Keith. If not, just send me an inbox message that you want to invite, and I would gladly send you an invite to come and join us and have conversation, get to hang out with my wife and I, and have some fun. This is what we do. All right. And it's also a free way. There's no charge. It's a free way just to hang out with some very smooth adults, all different levels. All different ages too. I think the youngest is 26, 20. No, I think the youngest is like 28 in the group, 26, 27, something like that. All the way up to like 70 something. Listen, we got a plethora of everything. And the good thing about it is, of course, you're welcome to network and connect, and which we do. And so again, I just try to create a space where it allows us, and it's mostly women too. Some of the men are getting braver to come in and tackle some of these subjects with a room full of women when ain't no pimping going on. And so some of the men run off, but the women have been consistent, and I love it. But if you're interested, just send me a message and I will gladly invite you to come out and hang with us because it's what we do. So with that said, coming up on half of the hour, I simply want to say again, thank you. You should have liked this by now. You should have shared this by now. You should have tagged 5 people. And the reason why is because I want to help as many people as possible, but I cannot reach people that I do not know. That is where you can come in to help me. By you letting the people on your page know you should come listen to this guy. Now when they come, I can talk to them. They can hear me and we can set something up. Or even more importantly, if you think that they need counseling or they need to work with me, tell them to hit my inbox and just tell them that you sent them and I will figure a way out, because then I will gladly get on a call. The call is free. I will gladly get on a call with them and figure out what I can offer them in terms of help. And if my website, my information actually is on my profile. If you go to my profile, if you're actually interested in setting up a call and stuff like that, go to my profile. You'll see a link, my link tree. Just click my link tree, and it'll tell you that there's a way for a discovery call. You just fill out the form. It'll take care of everything else. My virtual assistant will take care of everything, and you'll go through the steps, and we can go from there. Okay, so just check my link tree. It's in my bio on Facebook, in my bio on Instagram, in my bio on Twitter, and in my bio on LinkedIn. So it is there if you want to reach me. I look forward to hearing from you. So with that said, guys, I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, award-winning author, educator, and more importantly, man of God. And I pray that this has been of value to you. I pray that somebody got something from this. I don't know who this was for, but if you are in crisis, do not suffer alone. Come on and let me know. Allow somebody to help you. And if I cannot help you, I will not hurt you. If I can't help you, I will try to find you somebody who can help you. And I'm looking forward to you. And as I say, bring me your pain. Why? Because I believe we can fix this. Have a wonderful day, guys. And come on, sing me out of here. Have a good day, guys.